The stars were different now. Lieutenant Kevin Brooks stared at the view screen while his coffee grew cold. After 6 months in space, Earth's yellow sun was nothing but a distant memory. The RS Explorer had traveled farther than any human in history. Sir? The voice broke his thoughts. Ensign Jake Myers stood at the door, fresh out of training and still getting used to artificial gravity. We're getting something strange on long-range sensors. Kevin set down his mug and followed Jake to the bridge. The scanner results made his heart race. A massive object, clearly artificial, moved through space with purpose. It was 10 times larger than their exploration vessel. Send a standard greeting, Kevin ordered. His crew exchanged worried glances. They had protocols for this situation, but no one had seriously expected to use them. The message went out in all known frequencies, including everything Earth could think of. The reply came within minutes, not through radio or light, but as a perfect translation directly into their minds. Every crew member heard it with crystal clarity. Your primitive vessel has entered Council space without permission. You will surrender yourselves for processing. Kevin glanced at his second-in-command, Lieutenant Rachel Murphy. Her face showed the same disbelief he felt. This is Lieutenant Kevin Brooks of Earth Vessel RS Explorer. We come in peace and wish to establish contact with your civilization. Irrelevant. The Galactic Council has spoken. You will comply. The alien ship moved closer. It resembled nothing from human imagination. A crystalline structure that shifted and flowed like liquid metal. Energy crackled across its surface. What do you mean by processing? Kevin asked, trying to keep his voice steady. Your species will be cataloged, assessed, and assigned appropriate limitations. Your primitive drives and violent tendencies require management by the Council. Rachel handed Kevin a data pad. She had been running calculations since first contact. Captain, they're targeting our engines. Before Kevin could respond, the alien ship fired. A beam of purple energy sliced through space. The Explorer's emergency system screamed warnings. Alarms blared as sections of the ship lost power. Evasive maneuvers, Kevin shouted. All crew, to battle stations. The Explorer lurched to port, its fusion drives roaring. The experimental gravity manipulation system, still considered theoretical by many Earth scientists, activated automatically. Space seemed to bend around the ship. Chief Engineer David Parker's voice crackled over the comm. Captain, the gravity drive just saved us. Whatever that weapon was, it can't lock onto us when we're manipulating local space-time. Kevin felt a surge of hope. Earth's scientists had created something the aliens didn't understand. Return fire. Nuclear-tipped missiles. Launched from the Explorer, they were primitive compared to the alien weapon, but they had never been tested in real combat. The explosions lit up space with brilliant white light. The alien shields absorbed most of the blast, but damage was visible on their hull. They're charging another weapon, Captain, Rachel warned. Jump calculation complete, Navigation Officer Lisa Chen called out. Ready for emergency return to Earth. Do it! Space twisted around the Explorer as the gravity drive stretched reality. Stars elongated into lines of light. When they snapped back to normal, Earth was visible on the scanners, a beautiful blue marble 20 light-years away. The bridge crew cheered, but Kevin knew this was just the beginning. He opened a secure channel to Earth Command. This is RS Explorer. We have made contact with alien intelligence. They identified themselves as the Galactic Council, and they attacked us without provocation. Static filled the comm for several seconds before a reply came through. Explorer? This is General Peter Williams. You've been gone for 8 hours. Time dilation from your gravity drive? Kevin checked the ship's chronometer. Impossible. They had been gone for months. Yes, sir. We encountered Council forces in the, Kepler system. They demanded our surrender and opened fire when we refused. Mother of God, the general muttered. Get back here, Lieutenant, and prepare your full report. It sounds like humanity just made our first enemy among the stars. As the Explorer limped toward Earth, Kevin studied the battle data. The aliens had called them primitive and violent. Maybe they were right. Humans did have a long history of conflict. But they also had something the Council apparently didn't expect. the refusal to bow down without a fight. The crew repaired what they could during the return trip. Engineer Parker worked miracles with spare parts and improvised solutions. He had stopped an alien weapon with Earth's newest technology, and Kevin knew that achievement would not go unnoticed back home. "Captain," Rachel said 3 days later, as Earth grew larger in their view. "What happens now? We can't possibly stand against an entire galactic civilization." Kevin looked at the battle scars on their ship, then at the determined faces of his crew. "We prepare, Rachel. If the Council thinks humanity will roll over, they've misjudged us. We survived ice ages, plagues, and wars. We've split the atom and touched the stars. And we've just shown them one thing they didn't expect." "What's that, sir?" "That sometimes being primitive and unpredictable is exactly what you need to survive." The explorer entered Earth's atmosphere, carrying humanity's first victory in what might become humanity's greatest war. Kevin knew that everything would change now. Earth had been discovered, and whether they liked it or not, humans were now players on the galactic stage. As the landing cycle began, Kevin made a private recording. "The Council made their first mistake today. They assumed we would be afraid. They assumed we would surrender. But humans don't work that way. We adapt, we innovate, and we fight back." The ship touched down at the Space Center. Crowds gathered, unaware that their lives were about to change forever. Kevin stood up, straightened his uniform, and prepared to deliver the news that would unite humanity like never before. The stars were different now, and so was humanity's place among them. 6 months had passed since Kevin Brooks returned home with news that changed everything. Those months flew by in a blur of preparation and construction. Factories that once built cars now produced spacecraft. The world had united with a purpose humanity had never known before. President Arthur Collins addressed the nations from the newly established United Earth headquarters. His gray hair had turned white, aged by the weight of protecting 7 billion lives. "Citizens of Earth, we know we're not alone, and we know we're in danger." Claire Bennett watched the speech from the Underground Command Center. As Director of Global Defense Strategy, she understood the numbers better than most. Earth had limited resources against an empire spanning hundreds of worlds. But humans had something else, the ability to think differently. "The alien ship is back, ma'am." Ryan Walsh, the chief engineer for the new defense network, pointed at the massive holographic display. A crystalline vessel had appeared at the edge of the solar system, larger than the RS Explorer but smaller than the Council's main ships they'd seen in recovered data. Claire picked up the emergency phone. "Mr. President, they're here." The alien. Craft broadcast on all frequencies. The message was the same, demanding surrender. But this time a face appeared on screens worldwide. Vortex, the Council's supreme ambassador, resembled a humanoid structure made of pure energy. His form shifted, constantly, never fully solid. "People of Earth, you have 48 hours to surrender all military technology and submit to Council authority. Your resistance to our first contact was noted. Violence is no longer acceptable. Refuse, and we will destroy your civilization." "Arthur," Collins responded immediately. "We are not a violent species by nature, but we are also not a species that bows to threats. Come talk to us as equals, Ambassador Vortex, not as our masters." Vortex's form flickered with what might have been annoyance. "You misunderstand your position. The Council has ruled space for 10 million years. We have ended thousands of civilizations that refused proper management. You have 2 days. The Transmission ended. Across Earth, people watched their leaders hold emergency meetings. In secret locations, Earth's best minds gathered to review their preparations. Dr. Alex Wong presented his quantum shield technology in a converted missile silo in Nevada. The mathematician had worked without sleep for months. "The shield uses our planet's magnetic field to create barriers against energy weapons. It won't stop everything, but it'll buy us time." General Susan Parker studied the data. The military leader had fought in 2 wars before taking command of Earth's united forces. "How long can it hold?" "Depends on their firepower. Maybe minutes, maybe hours." Alex removed his glasses, exhausted. But it's all we have. Meanwhile, in California, tech entrepreneur Matthew Jordan supervised the conversion of his SpaceX fleet. His commercial rockets were being refitted with weapons and defensive systems. It's not perfect, but desperate times call for desperate measures, he told his engineers. On the moon, Colony Luna expanded rapidly. Commander Lisa Chen, who had served on the Explorer mission, coordinated the construction of defensive platforms. The low gravity lets us launch heavier payloads. If they attack Earth directly, we can hit them from their blind spot. The 2 days felt like 2 minutes. Networks worldwide connected families across continents. Children asked parents if they were safe. Parents had no answers. World leaders prepared for what everyone hoped would never come. When time ran out, Vortex appeared, again. His energy form crackled with impatience. Your time has expired. The Council expected better from a species that reached the stars. Your choice brings consequence. Instead of responding, Arthur Collins activated Protocol Unity. Every major city on Earth lit up with the same message in every language. We are humanity. We stand together. Ground installations powered up. Energy readings spiked across the globe. The quantum shields activated in layers, creating a lattice of protection around Earth. From orbit, human satellites broadcast humanity's unified signal. Vortexes. Expression shifted to something resembling confusion. You prepared. Your scientists worked together. Your nations unified. His form pulsed with what might have been concern. The Council calculations did not account for this level of cooperation. The alien fleet remained at the system's edge. Long-range sensors showed hundreds of ships gathering. Intelligence reports pieced together from salvaged Explorer data suggested the Council expected Earth to surrender immediately or fall into panic. Inside the Pentagon, generals and scientists reviewed final preparations. Susan Parker addressed her team. They don't understand us. They've never faced a species that chose unity over surrender. That's our advantage. Earth's defensive systems went to full alert. The quantum shields hummed with energy. Moon base weapons armed their targeting systems. Commercial satellites repositioned to monitor the enemy fleet. Every human capable of helping the defense effort had been recruited. On day 3, unexpected news arrived. The alien fleet began to move. Not forward toward Earth, but in formation, gathering strength for attack. They were preparing for war, not expecting the easy surrender they had anticipated. Kevin Brooks, now promoted to commander, prepared his new ship for combat. The USS Defiance incorporated everything learned from the Explorer encounter. They thought we'd panic, he told his crew. They thought we'd fall apart. Instead, we came together. As the alien armada approached, humanity held its breath. In homes and bunkers, people watched their leaders stand firm. The Council had given them a choice: surrender or fight. Earth had chosen to fight. The first alien ship crossed the shield barrier at dawn. Earth's defense grid activated immediately. Quantum shields powered up, creating barriers that confused enemy sensors. Human ships launched from hidden locations. The battle for Earth had begun. Vortex's final broadcast carried shock in every word. What are you? Your technology is primitive. Your civilization is young, yet you resist the Council itself. What manner of species fights when outmatched? President Collins answered with humanity's first principle. We are the species that never learned to kneel. The first alien ship hit Earth's outer shields like a missile striking concrete. Energy rippled across the quantum barrier, but it held. Hundreds more ships followed, creating a light show visible from the ground. Children watching from bunkers thought it looked like fireworks. Captain Rick Morgan commanded the USS Defiance from orbit. The ship mounted Earth's newest weapons, railguns that fired tungsten rounds at incredible speeds and experimental plasma cannons. All ships, engage at will. Show them what humans can do. The battle began with confusion on both sides. Council, ships fired their purple energy beams expecting easy kills. Human ships dodged using their gravity manipulation drives, moving in ways that defied normal physics. What the Council thought would be a quick strike turned into a deadly dance. In the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter, Rear Admiral Kelly Thompson prepared her trap. She commanded a group of converted mining ships equipped with unconventional weapons. The Council has technology, but they fight like a textbook. We fight like we're desperate. Because we are. Her plan was simple but effective. Draw the enemy ships into the asteroid field, where their larger vessels couldn't maneuver easily. Then hit them with everything humans could throw, including suicide drones packed with nuclear warheads. Down on Earth, civilians supported the war effort in ways the Council never expected. Jacob Miller, an automotive engineer, converted his factory to produce space-capable drones in 48 hours. His workers volunteered for triple shifts, surviving on coffee and pure determination. Dr. Anna Rodriguez made the breakthrough that changed everything. Working in a university lab while bombs fell outside, she cracked the alien communication protocols. Their ships talk to each other constantly, she explained to military commanders. But they can't handle multiple conversations at once. If we flood their network with noise, they'll lose coordination. The battle raged for 3 days straight. Human ships lost equipment they couldn't replace. The USS Defiance took heavy damage when a Council dreadnought targeted it directly. Captain Morgan refused to retreat. "Sir, shields at 12%, his tactical officer shouted. "Route power from life support to weapons," Morgan ordered. "And someone play that Wagner piece the crew likes. If we're going down, we're going. Down with style." The Council learned quickly that human unpredictability was dangerous. In one engagement, Earth ships used the sun's gravity to slingshot themselves at incredible speeds. Ships traveling faster than the aliens could detect slammed into Council vessels before they could fire. But Earth suffered losses too. The destruction of the civilian defense ship Hope's Whisper hit humanity hard. Its crew of volunteers had fought bravely before an alien beam cut through their shields. Tributes to those lost played across news networks, strengthening human resolve. By day 5, both sides regrouped. The Council had learned humans wouldn't break easily. Humans discovered that alien shields weren't perfect against physical impacts. The war adapted. In a stroke of creative thinking, Dr. Wong modified a batch of quantum shields to work in reverse. Instead of blocking energy, they directed it away at precise angles. "We can turn their weapons into mirrors," he explained, "bounce their own fire back at them." The first test of this mirror shield surprised everyone. An alien beam struck the USS Resilience and reflected directly back at the attacking ship. The Council vessel's shields weren't designed to block their own weapons. The explosion could be seen from Earth's surface. Back on Earth, children drew pictures of human ships shooting down aliens. Adults gathered in churches, temples, and community centers. They didn't pray for victory, they prayed for survival. In the asteroid belt, Kelly Thompson's trap snapped shut. She had lured a group of 20 Council ships into a narrow passage. The converted mining ships revealed their hidden weapons. More importantly, they had attached nuclear charges to carefully selected asteroids. "Detonate charges sequence Omega," Thompson ordered. The explosion sent massive rocks hurtling through space. The alien ships couldn't dodge in the tight confines. Asteroids the size of buildings smashed into Council vessels. Those that survived the impacts met a barrage of human weapons. Only 3 Council ships escaped the asteroid ambush. They retreated in confusion. In the command center, humans celebrated their first major victory. President Collins announced it worldwide. "Our clever tactics are working. We're learning how they fight, and we're showing them how we survive." Dordio. War's turning point came from an unexpected direction. Lieutenant Sarah Blake, commanding a reconnaissance drone, discovered something unusual. Some Council ships were firing at each other during battles, albeit rarely. "It's like they can't tell friend from foe in chaos," she reported. "Their identification systems get confused when too many things are moving." Humans developed chaos theory warfare based on this discovery. Swarms of small ships and drones created confusing battlefields. Decoys mimicked human energy signatures. Paint patterns on ships caused optical illusions. The orderly Council forces struggled against such unconventional tactics. The final battle of Earth occurred above the Pacific Ocean. Council forces launched a direct assault on the planet's surface. Human ships rose to meet them, supported by ground-based weapons and the quantum shield network. Captain Morgan, his ship barely holding together, rammed the USS Defiance into an enemy dreadnought. The impact damaged both vessels critically. As the Defiance began to break apart, Morgan broadcast his final words. "To any humans listening, we bought you 20 more minutes. Make them count." The sacrifice rallied Earth's defenders. Ships that should have retreated pressed the attack. Civilians on the ground cheered as alien vessels fell like burning stars. The quantum shields held, buying precious time. When the smoke cleared, neither side had won decisively. But something important had changed. The Council's certainty was shaken. Humans had proven they could hold their own against an advanced civilization. Earth remained free, damaged but defiant. In the aftermath, General Parker reviewed casualty reports with President Collins. "We lost too many good people today, sir. But we kept our freedom, General. Now we need to think beyond defense." Collins turned to a map showing the rest of the solar system. If Earth could fight the Council to a standstill, what could they do if they took the offensive? The idea was insane, but after everything they'd survived, maybe insane was what humanity did best. 2 weeks after Earth's defense, generals gathered in the war room beneath Antarctica. President Collins reviewed reports that still seemed impossible. "So you're telling me we actually won that battle?" General Parker nodded. "We survived, sir, and the Council didn't expect that. Intelligence suggests they've never faced organized resistance before. They're confused." "Then let's give them more confusion," Collins replied. "Operation Spearhead is approved." 6,000 light-years away, Commander Steve Bennett climbed into a captured Council scout ship. His team had spent weeks learning its systems. The ship still smelled like ozone and something metallic. "Remember, people, we're not tourists. We're the tip of the spear." Bennett's team included Ryan Walsh from engineering and Dr. Lisa Martin, who had decoded alien tech faster than anyone thought possible. Their mission was simple but crazy: penetrate Council space, gather intelligence, and survive. "Main drive online," Walsh reported. "This baby has real faster-than-light capability. None of that gravity-bending stuff we use." The journey took 3 days. When they dropped out of FTL speed, Council space looked nothing like Earth expected. Massive stations floated in orderly formations. Ships moved in perfect patterns, following routes that seemed carved in space itself. "They're not militaristic," Martin observed, studying her scanners. "Look at their infrastructure. This is a bureaucracy that happens to have an army, not a warrior culture." They discovered Council worlds had fallen into routine. Space traffic followed schedules set thousands of years ago. Patrol ships moved on predictable routes. Systems that once defended against rebels now operated on autopilot. Their fleet that attacked Earth wasn't their main force, Bennett realized. It was their police unit. They sent cops to fight a war. Back on Earth, scientists made breakthrough after breakthrough. Dr. Emma Carter published a paper titled "Weaponizing Chaos: Human Creativity in Conflict." It described how unpredictable human behavior could create tactical advantages against logical, predictable systems. Every other species the Council encountered fought using standard patterns, Carter explained in her lecture. "Formal warfare with rules and expectations. We don't do formal. We adapt faster than they can calculate." Intelligence from Bennett's team confirmed Carter's theories. Council records showed dozens of species that had resisted initially. All had followed traditional siege warfare or formal declarations of battle. All had fallen within standard parameters. "Earth doesn't fit their models," Walsh transmitted back. "We fight dirty, fast, and unpredictably. Their computers literally can't process our combat patterns." The team conducted surgical strikes against Council outposts, using their insights to maximum effect. They avoided civilian targets while hitting military supply lines. Each strike demonstrated something new about human warfare principles. In one operation, Bennett's team infiltrated a Council ammunition depot. Instead of destroying it, they reprogrammed the targeting computers and stored missiles to recognize Council signatures as enemy signatures. Let's see how they handle friendly fire incidents, Bennett remarked. The psychological impact was significant. Council channels buzzed with confusion about Earth's capabilities. How could such a young species adapt so quickly? Why couldn't their predictive algorithms track human movements? Dr. Wong developed the next innovation, quantum processors that ran multiple tactical simulations simultaneously. Our computers think like us now, many solutions at once instead of one logical path. But the biggest discovery came accidentally. During a raid on a council communication relay, Martin intercepted encrypted messages. She spent weeks decoding them before running to Bennett with printouts. "They think we're monsters," she said. "Listen to this. The Earth species displays unprecedented violence levels. They sacrifice themselves willingly. Their tactics show no regard for proper warfare protocols." Bennett smiled grimly. "They're scared because we don't play by their rules, and they can't adapt to our chaos." The team's strikes emboldened other species under council control. The Varrock, a species conquered 50 years prior, began passive resistance. Shipments to council worlds arrived late or damaged. Workers moved slower. It wasn't rebellion, but it was something the council hadn't seen in millennia. Bennett reported back to Earth. "We're not just fighting them. We're inspiring their subjects to hope again." President Collins authorized expanding operations. Modified civilian ships packed with volunteers joined Bennett's force. Each crew developed their own tactics. Earth's military became a collection of creative warriors rather than a formal army. "This is how humans always fought," General Parker observed. "Guerrilla warfare, insurgency, resistance. We're better at disruption than the Council is at maintaining order." The liberation of Outpost 7 became legendary. Bennett's team, supported by 2 civilian ships, attacked during the facility's scheduled maintenance window. They used the station's own protocols against it, scheduling their assault as a routine inspection. Council forces, programmed to follow procedure, didn't fire until the humans had already disabled their main systems. "Imagine if we followed rules strictly," Bennett commented later. "We'd still be asking permission to attack." By year's end, Earth had transformed from target to threat. Council forces pulled back from aggressive positions to defend key infrastructure. Their orderly empire faced chaos it couldn't calculate or control. Martin's final report changed human understanding of the galactic situation. The Council isn't evil. They're trapped in their own success. 10 million years of dominance made them forget how to adapt. They reached galactic peace by making everyone else predictable. Earth represents randomness in their ordered universe. When Dr. Carter presented her completed thesis on human warfare evolution, military academies on Earth added new courses: adaptive chaos tactics and creative destruction in space combat. Bennett's team prepared for their final mission, a direct assault on Council headquarters. Intelligence suggested the main governing body was located in a massive space station called the Nexus. "We've proven we can survive," Collins addressed his Council of War. "We've proven we can fight. Now, we need to prove we can win this completely." The Council faced a new reality. Earth hadn't just resisted. It had turned resistance into an art form. How do you defeat an enemy that makes unpredictability into a weapon? How do you negotiate with chaos itself? The Nexus dominated space like a mechanical planet. 10,000 ships surrounded the massive station, which had governed galactic civilization for millennia. Admiral Sarah Fields commanded Earth's combined fleet from aboard the upgraded USS Triumph. Her crew numbered humans from every nation, speaking different languages but united by one purpose. "Battle stations," Fields ordered. "Remember, our goal isn't destruction. It's negotiation." Bennett's reconnaissance had provided crucial intelligence. The Nexus operated on strict hierarchies and systems. Break those systems and the Council would have no choice but to talk. The attack began with Earth's signature, chaos. Human ships split into groups, each executing their own creative tactics. The USS Freedom performed impossible maneuvers using gravity drives. The converted civilian ship Spirit of Mumbai launched a cloud of solar sails that confused enemy sensors. No two human vessels fought the same way. Council forces responded with their standard defense pattern Omega. Mighty dreadnoughts formed geometric shapes, supporting each other with overlapping shields. Their AI calculated the best counter to human tactics, organized defense against unorganized attack. They're using textbook formations, Fields observed. They still don't understand us. The quantum shields developed by Wong now powered entire fleets. When Council beams struck human ships, some energy bounced back while other parts scattered harmlessly. The effect created rainbow auroras across the battle zone. Broadcast initiated, the communications officer announced. Prime Minister Scott's message is going out on all frequencies. Nathan Scott spoke to the entire galaxy. Citizens of the Council worlds, we don't come to conquer. We come to change. For too long, you've lived under rulers who demand submission. Today, Earth offers a choice. Join us in creating something better or continue as subjects. The message included data packets Bennett's team had gathered, evidence of Council oppression, forgotten histories of free species, and calculations showing how the current system benefited only the upper ranks. Something unexpected happened. A wing of Varrock fighter craft broke formation and turned toward Earth ships, shields down in surrender position. They were followed by a handful of other alien vessels. Admiral, we have friendly assets, Tactical reported. Multiple species requesting permission to assist. The Council's perfect formation wavered. Their AI couldn't process allies defecting mid-battle. Ships moved in confusion, breaking the patterns that had protected them. Bennett commanded the strike, on the Nexus itself. Alongside civilian volunteers and defected allies, his team used captured Council codes to access peripheral systems. They didn't attack the core, they flooded it with information. Every human art form, every piece of unpredictable data, every creative thought we've recorded, Bennett said as they uploaded. Let their computers try to process jazz music and abstract art. The overwhelming data caused Nexus systems to slow dramatically. Council computers, designed for order, struggled to categorize chaos. Meanwhile, human ships pushed forward. The battle reached its climax when Earth revealed its final innovation. Dr. Carter had worked for months on the Unity effect, a way for multiple human ships to link their quantum drives, creating a single massive field that could bend space on a stellar scale. Execute Unity, Fields commanded. 20 human vessels formed a ring, their drives connecting in brilliant arcs of light. The combined gravity field pulled at everything nearby. Ships, debris, and even light itself bent toward the effect. Bring the Council leadership forward, Fields ordered. Unconditional negotiation, or we'll keep expanding this field until it tears the Nexus apart. Inside the Council chamber, panic broke their 10-million-year tradition of calm deliberation. Speaker Zarthan, the highest authority, made a decision that shocked the Assembly. Open a channel to the Earth fleet. Request immediate ceasefire and diplomatic talks. The fighting stopped. In the silence of space, Ambassador Lily Adams approached, the Nexus aboard an unarmed shuttle. The same human who had helped organize Earth's defense now carried the peace. Why? Zarthan asked when they met. Why resist when resistance seemed impossible? Why fight when we offered order? Adams smiled. Because being impossible is what humans do best. We didn't want your order. We wanted our freedom to stay chaotic, creative, and unpredictable. The negotiations took weeks but resulted in the Galactic Accords. The old Council dissolved, replaced by the new Galactic Alliance. Every species received equal voice. Military hierarchies gave way to cooperative defense. Most importantly, no species would ever again face forced management. Marcus Turner and Patricia Morgan became Earth's representatives to the new alliance. Their first task was helping establish exchange programs, Earth art, music, and literature flowing to alien worlds, while humanity gained access to galactic science and culture. The Nexus itself was transformed into a museum and cultural center. Where weapons once threatened compliance, now schools taught cooperation. The station's massive halls displayed exhibits on diversity and unity, how chaos and order could coexist. 6 months after the war ended, Lisa Chen commanded the first human ship to patrol alongside former council vessels. During a joint exercise, she received a message from her Varrock wingman. "You showed us something we forgot. That different doesn't mean wrong." On Earth, children played with toys shaped like spaceships. History books added new chapters. Universities offered courses on quantum-enhanced diplomacy and creative conflict resolution. The planet that had been threatened with extinction became the heart of galactic change. At the 1-year anniversary celebration on the Nexus, President Collins gave a speech that defined Earth's new role. "We came into this universe kicking and screaming. We fought when told to surrender. We thrived when told to submit. Now we'll help build a galaxy where every species can kick and scream and thrive in their own way." The Council had thought humanity's unpredictability was a weakness to be controlled. Instead, it became the catalyst for galactic evolution. The orderly empire learned that chaos, when channeled through creativity and determination, could build rather than destroy. In the end, the Galactic Council hadn't just been defeated, it had been transformed by the very qualities it feared most in humanity. Earth had proven that survival sometimes requires standing unyielding against impossible odds, and that the universe's greatest strength might be the messy, unpredictable, unstoppable spirit of those willing to fight for their freedom.